has trouble over here. They have broken the window. Give me my motherfucking car so I can get it. They have broken the window over here. They have it much trouble. Get in the car. Give me my car, bitch. Give me my... ¿Le tomaron las placas ahora? Sí. Okay. Give me my car. No, le tengo. Quítense. Deja cambio, please.
May I have your attention, please? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome.
All right. Welcome to Grown Man Talking Incorporated. We have a very deep topic to address today. Generational disruptive path. If y'all paid attention to the intro, you'll see where we're going. So tonight, it will not be hosted by Mr. Dwight himself. Send prayers up. He's not feeling too well, but we will have Mr. Dez hosting tonight's show. So make sure you come in, put your purple hearts up, like it. If you're enjoying the gentleman, hey, subscribe. Make sure you tune in tomorrow as the Unspoken Heart Discussion Hours come to you live to discuss the different types of love and how to love yourself. You don't want to miss on this because it's going to get really, really deep. Also, if you're a poet and you know it, we still got the Powerful Poet Awards going on. We are down to days. Today is the 27th. March 30th is the deadline, 11:30 Central Standard Time. So make sure y'all get those videos over. The judges are patiently waiting. Come on over. And now we're going to hand it over to Mr. Dez.
Well, hello, everyone. Happy Friday. Once again, I am Mr. Dez, a.k.a. 337, a.k.a. Dez the Shot God. And I will be filling in this evening for our owner, Mr. Dwight. We will also, we have Brother Mac is coming in soon. I'm pretty sure Spicy will let me know when he gets here. But first of all, I want to say thank you, everybody, for tuning in. This is a very deep topic, and it's a very interesting topic for one, because I hate to be that broken record, but, back in my day, and my day wasn't that long ago, I'm a 76 baby. But at the same time, I couldn't see somebody in my generation pulling a stunt like this without severe consequences and repercussions, because of the simple fact, those workers on the inside of that fast food restaurant don't know which one it is. Brother Mac, if you're in, come on in, Brother Mac, if you're here. Welcome in. But like what's going on? Oh, nothing much. Just discussing this video. Like I was saying, this wouldn't have happened because back in my day, back when I was allowed to work in McDonald's, the workers on the inside would have been outside dealing with this. We would be dealing with that from the inside. But I know that's not the point of this. The point of this is what's wrong with these kids nowadays. What has the government done to our babies? Because
I ain't gonna too much deploy it on the government now.
That was my way of being sarcastic. But
my bad.
But you know,
my bad for being a joke kill.
No, that's good. but no,
yeah,
but this
these
behavior,
kids.
It started. I believe it started when they started taking parents the power away from parents, when they gave these kids the right to call CPS. Because when I was coming up, when we was in school, they sent us home with a permission slip, giving our teachers the right to spank us in class, and they stopped doing that. And be the reason, I don't know. But I think that has something to do directly with this negative behavior that these kids are dealing with, because the parents of these kids, I'm pretty sure they went to school during a time where they couldn't get in trouble by their teachers in school. And I like to make the joke, I believe that my parents and my teachers spanked me out of the penitentiary, as Eddie Griffin would say. But so what's your take on this, Brother Mac? Because I'm pretty sure some worst case scenarios out here than this. But what you think about these kids and how they acting nowadays, or even if you want to just talk about the video, I don't know if you got a chance to see it or not.
Yeah. I was backstage. I saw it. I think personally that these kids are a victim not only of back when the parents were taken out of discipline action, but it's a little farther back than that, right? Because it was a time also when your father was at home, and when your father was at home, discipline was cracking. So once things like that start to take shape, form, and people begin to just do any and everything, it was like a domino effect. You understand what I'm saying? Once you start taking away, first of all, the father in the home, then you took away separating church and state, then you separated that, then you took away disciplinary actions for the children when they stepped out of line. You have to discipline your kids a certain type of way, which I told them, come get me because I'm taking care of it. So, but yeah, it was just a lot that went on that you could tell, like the women got spooked, and you could tell because you like, I'm like, why you just gonna let them talk like this, and you just gonna let them walk like this, and you just gonna let them do whatever they want to do? No. And when the household is out of control like that, then you spill it over into the community. And you wondering why these kids is out here hanging in the restaurant windows, throwing napkins and whatever else they can get their hands on. Like, it makes sense.
Yeah, because I know you came from the same time when the neighborhood could discipline us. If we did something, I say if we did something on the north side of the block that we ain't had no business doing, but if we lived on the south side of the block, by the time we got to the south side, we didn't got disciplined at least 3-4 times before we even touched the front step. And now it seems as though these parents they scared of it. I hate to say it, but it sounds like they scared of their kids. Some of them are scared to discipline their kids because of the repercussions that they don't want CPS coming to the house now. And then also, like you said, when you separate the family, when you take away that family structure and you don't have a father there to help out with discipline, not saying that mothers can't do a good disciplinary job by themselves, because my mama did pretty well. Daddy wasn't in the house. He wasn't too far away though. And I hated to see him coming, because when I knew when he came, ain't no getting out of it.
Right. And you like Kay said, it was a lot of different eras as you got to understand it that way too, where in this era right now, this is the era of entitlement that we in right now. So now every kid now think everybody owe them something, and not only do every kid now think that somebody owe them something, but then on the flip side of the thing, you got to worry about the women that think that they running around and telling everybody ain't nobody gonna touch my kid. Don't put your hands on my kid. Don't do this. Don't do that. All right, well, when you have to come pick them up out the street because you didn't want no discipline, you see what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
When you ain't got no discipline at home and you ain't got no standardized tracker how you think things should go, then hey, when you get out here in the street and you think that everybody gonna be talking about don't hit my kid and don't do this and don't do that, all right, go and pick them up out the street there.
Yep, and like I think you touched on something very, very, very true, is that nowadays it seems as though the parents aren't holding the children accountable for their actions. They just let them be all willy-nilly, and like you said, giving them that sense of entitlement, that empowerment, like the world owes me, when in actuality, no, they don't. The world owes you nothing. You owe the world. But that's not how these kids are being raised. And I understand that parenting does not come with a handbook. I know that for a fact. But at the same time, everybody knows right from wrong. Everybody. I don't care who you are. You know right from wrong. And you know how to pass that down to somebody younger than you when it's all said and done, you know, because I just could not see me acting the way that these kids was acting in this video. I'm not gonna sit up here and act like I was a perfect child, but I knew not to go to that level. You know, I was one of them sneaky kids.
Think about it.
I was the sneaky kid. I ain't gonna be all flamboyant with it like them. You gonna find out about what I did down the line somewhere.
Somebody will tell you, somebody that slipped up and saw me. You know, and that's the thing about it. If we could get rid of, like, just think about it this way. If we could get rid of all of the don't say nothing to my kid, don't touch my kid parents, and get some respect back out here in the streets where it's supposed to be. So therefore, the respect that's in the streets, the kids that's in the house know not to bring that outside and what they do. Now we clean up a whole bunch. Well, you see, we all know what the problem is, but the solution, you know, people always look over the solution and the facts because now your feelings too timid, or all of a sudden I done said something that you feel disrespected or something. But the point of it all is that there's a lot of women that shouldn't even have kids because they don't want nobody to tell them what's right and what's wrong. I don't want you to tell them nothing.
Yeah, I can understand that. I know a few of them like that. And I ain't going to call out nobody's names. They know who they are. You know, I didn't have to deal with them on, you know, well, why you do? Well, your son shouldn't have did what he did. Well, you don't be talking, don't be doing that. That ain't your son. Well, keep your kid from around me then.
Right.
Because that's not how I was raised. That's not how I was raised. Because when I was coming up, anybody on this neighborhood could have gave me a whooping. And my mama, first thing she would have said was, what'd he do? Oh, yeah. Oh, I don't think you whooped him bad enough. Come on in here and get round two.
Yeah.
You know,
that's how it go. That's how it went.
You know, because, you know, a lot of people, parents, they ain't gonna whoop you like your mama and your daddy, you know, because your mama and your daddy gonna sometimes get into you like they don't know you. Just to prove a point, you know. I don't know. I know y'all done heard the saying, I bought you in this world and I'll take you out. I got close to that. But these kids ain't nowhere near this type of discipline today, you know. And I think to kind of go along with what K. Marie was saying in the comments, I think also the problem is that we got kids raising kids nowadays. There ain't no more big mamas, ain't no more pawpaws. You know what they say, grandma 38, mama 26. You know, so I mean, you know, but you know, I say it jokingly, but I mean it's a fact because you know we have kids having kids at an early ages now, and you got people having kids who are still kids growing up together with their kids.
Mind you, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna put a little bit of seasoning salt on the chicken, right?
That's right. No,
we're not talking about the kids that are kids in age having kids, because there's some 40 and 50-year-old kids out here that should not have some kids. I promise you, you should throw the towel in, leave it alone, because the milk's gone bad. I'm being for real. For real, the child is never going to amount to nothing, never going to be nothing, because you don't need to be the child's parent. You're the problem.
Well, I mean, I understand. Yeah, you still got them ones that's out there, living in that Peter Pan world, and like I think also, Kay also said, there's no more community, because that old saying, it takes a village to raise a child. That was a true firm belief when I was coming up. I was born in the 70s, and literally everybody on the block knew everybody. That's how That's how you knew you was gonna get in trouble, because if you did something wrong, Sister Jones, you better get that little one. He out here acting like he ain't got no sense. They quick to get on that phone. But nowadays, like you said, man, don't be talking to my kid like that. My kid didn't do that. That ain't my kind of kid. No. Look at them. Now they all world star.
Yeah. All y'all kids out here on here. But anywho, yeah, like as real as I could get to you, right? Like you said, it take a village to raise a kid. See, but back then, what you got to understand is we had a village, right?
Mm-hmm.
They traded the village in for the concrete jungle that they thought we was trapped in back when we had the community. See, the thing is, a lot of people start getting their hands on a couple dollars and thought they had something. Yeah. Now you think you got something. Now you don't need nobody. See, that's that era of independence. Here we are again. Back to these different eras in time. Now we in the era, I don't need nobody. I don't need this. I don't need nobody. I'm a strong, independent this and whoop the band. But listen. You need everything that God put down here for you. That's people, places, and things. God gave you all this. And you don't want to take advantage of it because you got a couple dollars now and you think you don't need nobody. All right, I digress.
Oh, but look, and let me show you also a difference in the eras. Even the ones that you knew was out there doing what they ain't had no business doing. I remember when our hustlers, our thugs, they had respect for the community. They seen you doing something you wasn't supposed to be doing, and they still checked you, even though they was out here doing what they was doing. And nowadays, these dudes is, encouraging these kids to go that type of way. When back, when I was coming up, the ones that wasn't doing what they were supposed to do, the ones that was out there, hustling, selling the big D boys, they was always trying to get us. Hey, you pretty good on that basketball court, man. You need to focus on that. Stay up out these streets. Ain't nothing out here for you. These kids ain't got nobody in their ear like that telling them the truth about that lifestyle, because that lifestyle is also being glamorized in a way that it should not be, which we are, regardless of what anybody says to me. That's all a systematic design, and we can debate that until the wheels fall off. And I will definitely put you in your place on that, but it's just a fact. So, but back then they were actually encouraging us, man, stay away from this. You don't want to get into this, man. Lead us up. This ain't the lifestyle you want,
Listen here.
But I'm listening.
Yeah, when we was out there, thinking that we want to do what we want to do and participate in what we want to participate in. They used to tell us, hey, listen, y'all can't come up out hanging out here in, man, it's school hours and this, man, y'all got the police everywhere and such. What, man, get off the block. Man, get out the buildings. Go listen, go somewhere. If you ain't going to school, you better be at home with your mama, or you better not be over here. Listen. You go do whatever you want to do. Go to the zoo. Go somewhere. But get from over here. Yeah, we couldn't hang out on no blocks, kicking no bobos like these kids, just walking up and down the streets just for no reason in the 80s and the 90s. No, you had to go something. You had to go do something. Absolutely.
Yeah. And depending on where you stayed, it was be in your best interest not to. But I think I hear music, or am I just hearing things? Oh, okay. My old man is still working. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna take our first break, and we will be right back with this very touchy subject. And please come back and come on back. That's all I'm gonna say. Just come on back.
Show it too, everybody. We'll holler.
Appreciate you, man. What you need, sir? One of them work here. The other one provided CPR before EMS got here. Probably gonna get their name in a minute.
QRV1.
According to early witness accounts, the situation started as a verbal argument between the victim and three sisters, including 19-year-old Tanaya Evans. Voices were raised. Hands were moving. Nobody could even agree on what the argument was truly about. But what everyone remembered was the sudden shift from words to violence. Inside the McDonald's office, officers reviewed surveillance footage.
Is there another angle? Like literally like right in front of the door. Like where everybody's standing right now. Is there a camera there?
Once the officer reviewed the CCTV, they had what they wanted, and all three sisters were brought into custody, all to be interrogated separately. Here's what the first sister had to say.
What's your name? Who? Marlo? 1 second. Spell your first name for me. M-A-L-O. What's your last name? And what's your date of birth?
Oh.
So how old are you?
24.
24? So there was a situation that transpired at the McDonald's off of Ralph McGill. And you was there during that time. What happened out there that led to this event?
From the beginning, so we were in the drive-thru line, ordering food, trying to place 2 orders through the drive-thru. One for cash, one for card. They informed us that since they're short on staff, that they're only, I'm going straight from like, I want this next time. They informed us that they're short staff, we can only do one, so we put all our orders together, then we went to the window. Our order wasn't complete when we got to the window. We were trying to tell the lady we wanted to add more food to the order. And she explained to us that she's new, because it seemed like they had, the lady who first took our order seemed like she had a little attitude or whatever. So when we went to the window, it was a different lady, and she explained to us, oh, we're sorry, I'm sorry, I'm new to working or whatever. And she was like, oh yeah, we all understand, because at first we thought it was attitude or whatever. So we paid for our food, went to the second window to receive our food, and we looked in our bags, didn't have everything in it, so we went inside to tell them with our receipt and let them know that.
Hey, so she did my pay like this, she wished my pay back went back, and I started fighting.
Everybody always in the car. Alright, she is the taste, she's not ready to go.
Let me go.
Hey, chill out. Stop.
No, the lady came up to this, I said,
What started as a routine morning quickly spiraled into a nightmare in the heart of the city, as a shocking incident unfolded at a McDonald's location. According to early reports, a teenager flew into a rage after receiving the wrong order, sparking a heated confrontation with a woman at the counter. Within seconds, the argument escalated out of control. Witnesses say chaos erupted as shouting filled the air, before the woman suddenly collapsed, leaving bystanders in panic and disbelief. Police arrived within minutes, locking down the entire area. The teen suspect was immediately restrained at the scene. In a surprising twist, the woman involved was also handcuffed and taken into custody for questioning, raising serious questions about her role in the deadly altercation. Authorities have launched an urgent investigation as the community reels from the violence. A simple fast food mistake turned into a tragic loss of life in broad daylight.
All right. You got everyone over there on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and Rumble for tuning in. We see you. Thank you so much for supporting us. Also, make sure that you tune in tomorrow. I know it's Saturday, but we got something deep to talk about in discussion. The different types of love. What type of love do you possess? And what does it mean to love yourself? Let's talk about it tomorrow. The phone lines will be up. And also, they are counting down. They're counting down quickly. We are waiting, and the judges are waiting for the videos to come over. If you're a poet with the gift of vibe, submit those videos over up to 4 minutes to myself, Spicy Gray, or Dwight Robinson, so we can send them over to the judge. You never know. Hey, you never know. You might be 2026 Powerful Poet of the Year. Now, over to you.
All right. We are back.
All right.
And like she said, let's not forget, y'all. Y'all can call in. The number to call in, if it's not scrolling across the bottom of your screen to where you can see it, the number is area code 512-668-2814. That's 512-668-2814. We would love to get some of y'all opinions on this, because if y'all is as vibrant with the vocals as y'all is with them fingers typing in them comments, I know we gonna have some good ones coming. And to even touch on this situation right here, has it really come to this point to where a messed up order at McDonald's can lead to someone no longer being here with us? And take in mind, and I'm speaking from someone not even dealing with bad kids, just speaking from someone who has worked in customer service, still works in customer service to this day. When mistakes happen, there has to be a way. I mean, I think that the problem is when you come to a situation like this, today's youth have no idea what conflict resolution is, because that whole situation could have been handled differently. I don't know. I wasn't there. They didn't give too much backstory on what happened. The lady could have walked in. I'm sorry. Hey, excuse me, ma'am. This wasn't what I ordered. Y'all got my order wrong. Can we make this right? And the lady could have been like, oh, okay, sorry about that. Let me see your receipt. I've done this before. And went back and cussed out and fussed at the crew because they got it wrong. Not the customer. It's not the customer's fault when it's all said and done. It could be the person took the order wrong. Simple things like that. But, there's got to be a simpler way. Why? This video makes me ask the question, why do we always resort to violence as a means of conflict resolution? Even though that's kind of a contradiction all in itself. What you think about that, Brother Mac?
Right. Well, you got to understand, right, that, all right, petty things like this, right, it ain't nothing new to the sun, right? But it used to be an abnormality. That's the case. See, what you have to understand is, when something like this happened, then the community at large, for the most part, looked and said, something is wrong with that person. Why would they do something like this? Now, it's every other day on TV. You see these kids did something to somebody on one of these jobs, or they done went through and did a smash and grab, or they out here fighting and doing different things to each other on a regular basis and being publicized. And people make this excuse talk about, well, it wasn't publicized like that back then. We didn't have all the technology and stuff we have. No, listen here. It definitely increased. The abnormality of function of thought is definitely on the rise.
So basically, so are you saying that we see it so much nowadays that society has become desensitized to it, to where it's just, it's just another day.
No, not at all. Because there's still some of us that sit back and look and say, there's something wrong with these people. So I don't claim to be a part of the society that has normalized this. That's what I'm talking about. When it was abnormal, you had a lot more people that would frown on things like this. But now you have people that have the guts and the galls to get on TV, to get on Beyonce's internet and everywhere else they could be seen, and they'll celebrate somebody's death. They'll celebrate somebody dying. They'll clap. They'll make videos about it. Listen, I don't care what type of person you is, right? In all the God-fearing that's in my body, I do not want to be the person that sees a person pass away by the hands of another person and be happy about something like that. Because I know I got to go and talk to God about that when that's over with, man. I'm not finna be happy for you passing on or somebody doing something to you, but you got people out here that don't care no more. And that's the norm. There's too much of I don't care. There's too much of it. And so I'm one of these good people that sit back in the cut and say, I remember when I was a child, we used to think it was something wrong with them type of people. Okay, let's think about it. Right. Think about it, right? Jeffrey Dahmer was a worldwide sensation when it happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't nobody happy that Jeffrey Dahmer did the things that he did except for people that was like him. That was abnormal in the thoughts. Everybody else was like, he was eating people and refrigerating people and this and that. Oh my God. But now if Jeffrey Dahmer was to eat people today, somebody would be talking about, oh my God, oh, he's such a great, and oh my God, he's this and he's that, and oh, he's such wonderful, and we'd be like, what? What did you say?
Yeah, that's just like they did with when Charlie got took out this life, when they tried to put him on the same level as Martin Luther King. I don't get it, but anyway, yet I digress.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
absolutely,
I believe though, like just like looking at this video, because the one thing that I know you said, how they say, well, we didn't have social media back then, and it's not like it wasn't going on. It was going on, but it wasn't as in abundance as it is now.
And now, it wasn't popular.
And nowadays, instead of, because there were times that, people would actually intervene and try to break these things up. But now this is the first thing everybody want to do. That's all they want to do.
Right.
Yeah. They took help out with, let me get this. Let me get some clicks. Let me get some likes and some views off of this. So in my own mind, it's just my own personal opinion. I do believe that social media has contributed to the behaviors of some of these people that are in this world today, because on the internet you can be anything that you're not in real life. And and
we know. Go ahead. They taking that.
And they taking that and they running with it, not realizing, oh yeah, they can be tough on the internet, but I didn't even see some of these videos like these dudes out here on live popping, I'm right here, I'm out here, and pull up. And then when somebody pull up and get to letting that thing go and they, oh man, why they do that? No, this is what you wanted. This is the type of attention you was looking for. It's two types of attention: negative attention and positive attention. Which one do you think is more beneficial to your health? And they always pick the wrong one. That's all I'm saying.
Don't tell nobody else. I'm just saying.
Because
I'm just saying.
And and I'm wondering, like literally, they said the girls in these videos was. What, one was 19, one was 24. So these some 2,000 2000, early 2000 babies.
Yes.
You know, these new millennium kids, you know.
See, let me tell you the difference in between. See, I come up, you know, we both from cities where we can say we know some women that was in the streets, right?
Mm-hmm.
From back in the days. So everybody that's out the hoods of America, y'all know some people that are out the streets that were females, right? But the difference in between what we're talking about then and what we talking about now is these young ladies that are so willing to give their life away, which is a totally different, totally drastically different point, where the young ladies that I knew, they was just out there kicking it. They might, you know, get their little drink in, or they might be out there with their little boyfriend, or they might be out there trying to get them a little money. Whoever knows what they out there doing, but they wasn't willing to get a life away just as quick as these women are. And that's the difference in the society these days of the women that you see out here. These young chicks today, they willing to go do a life sentence. I don't know nobody I'm finna do a life sentence for unless it's absolutely necessary.
Well, look, I can tell you right now, here in Kansas City, one of the most notorious murderers is a female. Female, notorious, doing life right now. One of them is doing life, and the other one, life came back, karma came back and knocked on the door.
Right.
But, you know, and I think that also that has something to do with it, because even like back in my days, like I grew up, I spent a lot of time with my cousins, because I'm sorry, I ain't trying to put you out there, mama, but it's public record. But my mama's favorite spot was this club called 6902.
Okay.
Her and all my aunts, and they was all my mom and them, they was out there kicking it, but they still had a ring on the discipline that was going on, because even though they was out there kicking it, I'm getting babysitted by I'm with my cousins that, you know, that's from the other hood that we not from, and I may be getting to do some things that I don't get to do at home, but at the same time, they still kept me in check.
Yeah,
of course, because they didn't want me out there getting too wild, because they knew if I got too wild and got into something that I wasn't supposed to get into, it, they was going to
drag them into it. Yeah, absolutely.
You know, so, and I think also that's like, you know, I hate to keep on beating the dead horse, but that it's that village. We've lost that village. We've lost that community. We are no longer. It's become so much of a me society that we have forgotten to take care of us as a whole. And if you got a different opinion, call in 512-668-2814.
And again, if you
go ahead.
If you gonna beat the horse, then I'm gonna beat the horse too. I'm going back to saying where everybody got a little something in their pocket that they think they own something now, and really. You listen, I heard something. I will watch it, you know, I like to watch the K-dramas, you know what I'm saying? And so I was watching it, and the lady was on there, and she was filthy rich, you know what I'm saying, as far as what the average mind might think filthy rich would be. And he told the lady, he said, listen here. You think you really doing something. He said, but the elites that's really doing something, what you got ain't even crumbs off their table. And you got to think about it like that, because the most of us, the bulk of us that really think we own something, you ain't doing nothing. It's crumbs. You just got a bigger TV these days, a PS5 for the kids, a nicer car, and a couple more things in the house, but you really ain't doing nothing. If you really look at it, man. Yep, if you really look at what we think is an upgrade these days, what we call an upgrade was the things that they had in the 60s and 70s. We ain't did nothing.
I don't know. And then on top of that, the ones that got it, you don't know it because they don't show it. But I think, I don't know if I heard some music. Is my old man ears working? If so, it's time for another break, y'all. We'll be right back after this short message. And don't forget, the phone number is 512-668-2814. See y'all in 2 and 2.
This story is wild.
No problem. You don't want to get prick. Okay.
No problem.
Okay, you think, oh, I'm going to get arrested again. I didn't give a fuck for every arrested 100 times.
No problem.
Security. Please.
No
Stop.
problem.
Stop recording me. I'm scared.
No problem.
Stop recording me. I'm scared.
A teenager faces investigation after she racially abused and threatened phone shop staff for refusing her a refund. Footage shows the 19-year-old woman pulling items off the shelves and chucking them to the ground in front of workers at the electronics store in Uxbridge, West London on Saturday. As dozens of phone accessories pile up on the ground, she is heard repeatedly swearing before calling one worker a P-word and threatens to spit in his face. A group of shoppers can be seen watching in bewilderment from the shop entrance while her tirade continues. Police eventually arrived and arrested her, but she was released after the victim said he did not want to press charges. However, detectives are now investigating the footage and will return to the shop to speak with staff.
All right. Make sure you tune in tomorrow. What type of love is possessed? We will be discussing a deep topic about love itself, when you're loved, and the love for yourself, and how does it feel. Make sure you tune it on and turn on those notifications so you don't miss out. The phone lines will be up, so you will be able to call in as they are in now. 512-668-2814. And as y'all see above, which will be above Dez's head on the left-hand top corner, we have a QR code. And what that is for is if you want to give any monetary donations, you just take your phone camera up to that QR code, leads you to the Cash App. All monetary donations go towards things like this here with the Powerful Poet to fund for certificates, papers, whatever is needed. It also goes towards his trophies. The Inspirational and the Powerful Poet trophies are already paid for, but you know we got other categories. So if you want to give from the heart, just put your phones up to there and it'll send it right on through. So if you're a poet and you know it, get those videos over. You never know. You might be 2026 Powerful Poet of the Year. Now over to go.
All right. Yes. Get them videos in, y'all. The videos in. The deadline is swiftly approaching. You have less than 3 days left? I don't know, but I know.
I don't know, but my birthday the 31st, so it ain't that far away. It ain't that far away.
No, it ain't. So I know it's a few good poets in there. I know it's at least 1 or 2 fire poets. I can't speak for nobody else. So, but anyway, yet I digress. Now back to this topic right here. This is another example. See, I'll be wondering where Spicy find these videos, but that's the thing. This young lady walked into an establishment. Because she could not get a refund. Now, I don't know why she couldn't get a refund and he didn't press charges. But that also demonstrates that they're teaching these kids lack of accountability. Because I was wondering, I want to know where the store is because too bad it's over in Oxford or wherever it is. Because I know they got some discounted items somewhere.
Man, let me get all that.
So this type of behavior, I don't know how I couldn't even begin to explain why a kid would do this. A child, nothing, even though she was 19, that's still a child to me. I'm sorry, even though you're legal in some states, that's still a child to me. And you should know better, even though you're going to that young adult phase. You know right from wrong. That, I mean, you ain't getting no refund. But at the same time, like you said, Mac, what's really wrong with you? There has to be something deeper.
Look, I'm telling you, right? Mental illness. Let's replace that word abnormality. And since we can use mental illness without offending anybody, because there's another word, starts with R, that really fits the topic.
The one that,
you know
with
what
D?
I'm saying. Yeah. ED.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And this is what's going on, because listen, if I already told you, you ain't getting no money back for what you already got. And my thought process is, well, if you ain't gonna give me no money back, then the best thing I could think of to do is start throwing stuff and breaking stuff that's gonna cost me more money in the end, or at the very least, gonna cost my parents money, because I am still of that age where I could still be living at home with my parents, and if my mama and them get involved, then boom, now I done cost them some money.
Okay, we got a caller on the line. Caller, thank you for calling in to the Grown Man Talking Incorporated.
Good evening. Happy Friday, everyone. Hi.
Hey.
Hey.
Hey, everybody. Look, I'm loving everybody's point of view. I just wanted to add something to the mix. Like, we have to put in perspective too that a lot of these kids are ranging between the age of like 15 to, you say 25. We'll say 15 to 25. That means an 18-year-old in the year 2000 has a 25-year-old right now. So we have to think about the state of the world from 2000 on up, where the 18-year-old, 19, 20, 21-year-old mind frame was at that time. It is definitely not the same as it was when we were coming up and our parents was adults in the 80s and 70s and 60s. It is totally different. These kids have no patience. They have no respect for adults. They have been desensitized. And they said earlier something about the government and said it was a joke. No, it's a combination of that too. This is systematic. This was designed for these kids to be this way. It was designed for these adults to be this way. From programming to food to education, all of that, it's been programmed. It's not just the parents. It's a combination of parents, and it's a combination of systemic implications that have taken place to make these kids the way they are now. Number one, showing all this violence from games to TVs to a lot of them end up experiencing their own home. I can say I'm a person who grew up in a family where I've literally seen my uncle chase my cousin in the front yard with a fish hook knife to try to kill him. Like, everybody didn't grow up just okay. You know what I'm saying? So you have that. You have our elders are different than the kids' elders that they have now. Our elders they had jobs, they had houses, they taught you stuff, you knew to respect them. They ruled with authority. A lot of elders that you have now, they want to be cool with the kids in high school. They want to hang out. They want to listen to the same music and go to the same clubs with them. Like, the elders are not eldering anymore. So it's a lot of different factors. And then, like what you just left off is, there's a lot of undiagnosed mental illnesses walking around here because people want to go, oh, ain't nothing wrong with my baby. Oh, a lot of times they say, oh, he just bad. Oh, he just don't understand. Oh, yeah, he do understand. We say ain't nothing wrong with him. And you won't take these kids to go get tested and get them the help and resources that they need to be productive citizens.
I can't do nothing but agree with you on that, because, you know, I'm, as someone who has worked and is working in the educational system, I've seen it with my own eyes, how they're dumbing down the education, not realizing that they are doing nothing. Well, they realize that they setting our future up for failure. And the ones that do see it, the far and few in between, it's like they're outnumbered, and they have no voice, So, and I also think, first of all, thanks for calling in. I appreciate you. I appreciate your voice and your opinion, because it was very articulate and very valuable and very true, very, very true. And then also, I believe that a lot of it has to do with technology as well, because guess who the babysitter is now? The TV, the iPad, the cell phone. I've seen experiments to where babies crying. They give them a phone. They get real quiet. They stop fussing. They stop arguing. As soon as you take the phone away from them, they start crying. It won't shut up until you give them the phone. So who's really raising the kids now? Are the parents raising the kids?
It's been cases where I've seen kids have literally either harmed or murdered their parents or a guardian behind the Wi-Fi, or taking a phone, or taking a game. It's almost like a new drug, which another new drug, a reason why these kids act a fool, is attention. These parents is working. They trying to find love when they're on their spare time. They're not paying these kids no attention. The social media is their attention, them likes, them comments. So they run to that, and they're going to do whatever they have to do to get that attention. And again, the kids are only doing it because you got grown adults doing the exact same thing and not teaching them nothing better to do. When I came up, I was in girls' tea. They taught us how to do girly stuff, fix our hair, how to cook, how to do this and that and other. You had the boys' team. The boys, the men would take them out on different excursions and teach them something outside. When the last time have you heard of that even existing in our neighborhoods anymore? To where if the parents wasn't there, there was an organization set in place to teach these kids something else outside of their norm.
Well, yeah, I mean, we had the Boys and Girls Club, but at the same time, our Boys and Girls Club, you got in more trouble up at the Boys and Girls Club, but we still had somewhere to go.
Yeah.
And then, and like you were saying, like you said, you had the organization. We had etiquette classes and things of that nature. I was involved. They had us involved through our church, groups like Royal Ambassadors, and Girls in Action, to where we would have to do certain things within the community. They would take us out. We'd have to go out and do food drives and things of that nature. So some of the things that we had to do that were keeping us on the right path. Like you said, they've taken those programs away. And a lot of times they say these kids is bad. They bad, they out here acting up. Well, when we was coming up, we had the Joy program every summer. What did they have us doing? Working. They found us jobs. So all summer we was working. We didn't have no time to be out there acting bad, even though some of us still found the time. But majority of the time we was at work. And, maybe it was just, because me growing up, by my grandfather being a construction worker, I was 12, 13 years old, making $8 an hour, painting buildings. So, and like you said, they've taken the elders away, and we no longer have that. So I think maybe that's a solution. We need to get back to actually trying to teach our kids instead of being friends with our kids.
Thank y'all for holding me. I'm still be watching. Good night.
Thank you for calling in. Man, very good perspective. You got anything you like to add on to what she talked about, Brother Mac?
Nope, because she said everything that needed to be said. And so again, like I said, if I'm going to revert then backwards to what I was saying, in the essence of, there's a lot of people out here that are undiagnosed. And here's my thing, right? I feel like a lot of parents don't take their kids to get diagnosed. I mean, I might just be throwing a hammer in the dark alley. I don't know. But hey, if you get hit bad, then maybe I'm talking to you. But yeah, a lot of people don't go get their kids diagnosed and get their kids the help that their kids need, because then deep down inside, you would have to admit that there's something wrong with you too. This is your kid. This kid comes from you.
That's what they say. So, apples don't fall far from the tree.
Yeah. So you would have to say, well, if there's something wrong with the kid, maybe I need to go get a diagnosis too and see if it's something wrong with me. And a lot of us are, as parents of today, undiagnosed. You undiagnosed. You are. I'm just so thankful for God that, hey, sometimes I consider some of the things that I say and do. I say, well, yeah, I'm diagnosing myself. Yeah, that was crazy.
You the dummy.
Yeah, I tell on myself. Ain't no need for me to sit here and lie to you, because sometimes I sit back and it's, some people be like, you just don't care. Like you just have one of those demeanors where if it come to your thought before you think the whole sentence out, you done said it. And that comes from years of pinning back what I had to say, or trying to say something in a way that it won't be offensive or disrespectful, and you still don't be taken seriously, or you get taken for granted. And so now the honesty just rolls off so quickly that I don't know what to say. And so it is what it is. Music time. All right.
So all right, y'all. I do believe that means it is time for our final break, y'all. So we're going to go back to this final break. And as my brother the White say, it might be 2 and 2, it might be 1 and 1. But whenever it's done, we'll be right here, son.
Little kids coming into the Taco Bell in Dykeman all the time. This is every day coming in, grabbing spoons and tissue and forks and everything, and just coming outside and just throwing it. This is every day now. Every day they come and do the same shit all the time. And I have to sit here and clean it. Because if we don't, we get a fine for this. You know what I mean? And this is every day. These kids don't have, it's like their parents is not outside with them to discipline them. Or they don't have parents to discipline them because they out here doing stuff like that at a young age. You know what I mean? This is ridiculous. In this world, this is why a lot of people are getting hurt. You know what I mean? Especially kids like that. You know what I mean? Because they're doing stuff like that they're not supposed to be doing. And then when they get hurt, it's like, no, that's going to go to the garbage. And then when they get hurt, you know what I mean? It's like, then it's like, oh my God, it's a kid. Yeah, but these kids is out here being very crazy. What made me more upset and made me come out here is because they was just in there and I was being very nice and they didn't have enough money to buy what they wanted. And I gave them something for free. For real. So for you to do that is crazy. That's disrespectful. You got people walking because they don't want to freaking step on it and that's what we done.
All right. Make sure you subscribe, like, and comment, and share, because, they keep bringing these topics. Hey, we're going to keep bringing the fire. So make sure y'all continue to tune in every Friday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And also, make sure you don't miss tomorrow's topic, where we will be discussing with special guest Dr. Jennifer Gilbert will join in with us. The types of love. What type of love do you possess? Do you truly know what love is? And what does it mean to love yourself? Tune in tomorrow as we have a session and just discuss it.
That can't be the point.
We got the powerful poet going on. We have 3 days left. 3 days left to just get your videos in to the judges so they could go ahead and to see who's going to be the chosen one for 2026. Yes, just like Dad said, we got some fiery ones that didn't spit. So, hey, if you are a poet, whether you know it or not, submit that video because you never know. You might be the next 2026 Powerful Poet of the Year. Now, over to Dad.
All right. So, to kind of carry on, even following with this video, I think there is some mental illness involved in a reaction like that, especially when you are being blessed. You come into an establishment, they knew they didn't have enough money to buy what they wanted from the get-go. They knew that. They knew how much money they had in their pocket. And then for her to take the risk on giving them something for free. I've worked in fast food. You give stuff away, you might give up your job because they don't play. And excuse me. And for them to, act that way, but she say they do this on a daily basis. So to them, this must be how they entertain themselves. It sounds like they entertaining themselves if she say they do this all the time. And
absolutely.
And even the deeper side effect to that is that's costing that establishment money to have to throw all of that stuff away. That's going to in turn affect the whole the community as a whole, because in order for them to make up the money that they losing for all the stuff that they got to throw away, what's the first thing people do? They gonna raise the prices up.
Absolutely.
They either gonna raise the prices up or they just gonna close that location altogether, and that community loses. So, and I think that, and now that's just to put it on a broader perspective of how the negative behavior that these children are demonstrating today are really affecting us as a whole. Even though they are at the bottom of the totem pole, they're still affecting us at the top by the way they're acting.
Absolutely.
So, it's one thing to talk about it, but my question to you, Brother Mac, is what would you feel would be a solution to where we can actually try to do something, or any type of programs or anything that we can implement, or, something that we can get going to help these kids see that the way that they're acting is not the way that they should be acting. That's not who they are.
Well, as a community as whole, that means schools, that means churches, that means stores, that means everybody gonna have to get on one accord in dealing with this new generation, because at the point in time that we're at, as far as dealing with them, they feel like they're entitled to everything. They don't have to respect nothing, and they don't know nothing about what it is to have to suffer and lose. And so when you're dealing with a group of people that's their feelings, that's their mantra, then the only way to combat that is everybody got to be on one accord. Like, okay, well, we ain't dealing with this, we ain't dealing with that. This is what we're going to do to combat this. This is what we're going to do to combat that. And for those that don't want to get down, they can lay down. And they don't want, and the ones that want to get down, we're gonna get down with them, and we're gonna make sure that they straight. And there has to be the solution where everybody agrees, because again, We can't have nobody mama on the side talking about, well, not my baby. You ain't finna menstruate my baby like that, and woo this and woo. No. See, you need to be one of those people that we treat just like we're gonna treat the children. I mean, if you don't want to act right with getting your kids in line, you shouldn't even be able to get a job. You shouldn't be able to get food stamps. You should be. It can work. I promise you, we can put something together. I promise you, it don't have to be, no long drawn out thing. It's just the things that hit you where you hurt. And the things that hit you where you hurt, where you can't do nothing in society, yeah, all right. Don't worry about it. And I ain't loaning you nothing neither. Don't come over here asking for something because your baby was acting up and now they won't let y'all in the grocery store. No.
Yeah. Because look, when I worked in the store, there are parents that I've had to you can't come in here no more because of what your kid did. And I know that there are some states who are starting to hold the parents accountable for their kids absentee from school. And sometimes it works, and sometimes it has its downside too, because there was one lady, her child couldn't make it to school because she had a terminal illness. But they still prosecuted her and sent her.
I remember that lady.
Yeah, so
I remember that lady.
It all has its checks and balances, but I mean, I do believe that I agree with you on that as well, because I do believe if we do something, get some more after school programs for these kids, some more, get some better enrichment activities during school time, and then even when the kids come home. And take in mind, I get it, parent. You at work all day. You're tired. You got to deal with your boss is getting on your nerves. You got that one coworker that keep on stealing your lunch. And you just got so much, and you need to come home and you need to decompress. But at the same time, let's not forget, even though we have to decompress as parents, we still have to make sure that we check on our kids' mental stability, because of the simple fact, like Brother Max said, it's all in our head, and we have to stop letting technology raise our children, because AI is just that, artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence cannot replace knowledge of self. And so, Spicy, you got anything you'd like to add to this? As I know as a mother and a proud parent that you have a lot to say about some of these kids and how they act, and anything you'd like to add to it?
Well, as a lot of people know already, I've always stressed that this generation disgusts me. And the reason why I disgust, because they don't have that respect there. They don't have a clue. They treat the elderly just like they just was born yesterday, like they oblivious to everything. They've been there, they haven't done anything they done. But at the same time, you got to look at, I know somebody personally that's more or less, instead of being a mother and laying down the foundation in her child and gearing her in the right direction, she's being more of a friend than a mother. And my thing is, when you sit there and you cannot balance the two out, because I joke around with my kids, true enough, but they know mama don't play either. And when she say this, the way you supposed to do this, the way you supposed to act, that's the way it is. My kids knew better. They better not go out and touch nothing. They didn't even touch things around the house that they wasn't supposed to. They knew there was a no-no area. So a lot lies on the parenting. But what Dad said earlier about them taking things out, for one, I blame the government for taking prayer out of the school. That's key one. Two, when you put the law in the kids' hands to control, to where they can sit there and call the law on something as little as spanking, they took all control from the parents, to where the parents were getting locked up. Now, the other thing is, when there's not, and I stress this strongly, a father is required in a child's life. That foundation and that structure needs to be there, because a child will fear a father quicker than he'll fear a mother, no matter what woman says. And when you don't have that there, then you have a child that's going to go test many levels, to where that mother is in fear of their child. Now you have a man that don't know how to be a father or to stand that ground or to be hard to where he has too much heart for his daughter. But having too much heart right now is going to make your heart bleed later on because you're not nipping it in the bud. Now, if a parent learn how to be a parent and put their foot down, that's one thing. But also when you have a child that you know without a doubt that they got a mental issue, they got a behavior issue, you need to seek them help early. Don't wait till you get too late to where it's out of your hands and it's in the legal system. It's too late.
Yeah, because once they get in that system, the system don't care nothing about them. They ain't nothing but a number.
Exactly. Because if you look at our kids now, we didn't even, as females, didn't even dress the way some of these 15, 16, 17-year-old girls dress. The parents are allowing them to expose their bodies. But you want to sit here and say, okay, this man should be looking at my daughter. True enough, but you shouldn't allow your daughter to expose her breasts like that or even wear short things like that. There's a child that needs to be a child. That's the problem. Keep your children in a child's place, but also make sure that structure is there. Because like one doctor asked me, do you want them bad later or do you want them bad? Do you want them bad now or do you want them bad later? Later, you can correct. Younger, you can steer. But I can't help to emphasize, keep your kids covered in prayer because my thing is these kids, they are out of control. And they do feel like they are entitled. They step in the store, they want something, they want it now. If you don't give it to them, they're going to take it. And if you catch them, they're going to start destroying your property.
Well. Words of wisdom. I wish we could have got a elder to call in, a big mama or Uncle Ray to tell us how they feel about these kids nowadays. But Brother Mac, we don't want to hold the people up too long. We appreciate them spending their beautiful Friday evening with us. Any words of nutrition that you got you want to leave the people with?
I mean, like I said earlier about the K-drama I was watching when the dude said, hey, the big stuff that you think you got right now ain't even crumbs off the table of those that are elites. In other words, wrap your mind around the fact that no matter how far ahead you think we are or have progressed to as a people, we still in the struggle, man. We still out here trying to make things happen. And so in order to get things that are truly valuable and truly worth something, you need to get back to that sense of community, that sense of village, that sense of togetherness, that sense of family, and that sense of needing each other. We got to get back because that's where the true value system was. The value was in us knowing that we had each other. When we act like we got something better than what we really got because we done made a couple dollars more on the job, or we done made a couple dollars on the job and we want to look down on somebody that ain't got, or somebody that's still out here trying to get themselves together. That's the issue. That's where we can start at. Like, everybody quit thinking that one person is better than the other, and absolutely understanding that God is looking down for everybody. That's my thought for the day, everybody.
Just like you said, Brother Mac, who's more important, the janitor or the doctor in the hospital? They
both work at the same spot.
And both got very important jobs. So, we have to think about that, and, we must be brothers from another mother, because I was about to speak on that same pathway. I was going to tell my words of nurturing. What's that word I just said? Nurturing, nourishment. My words of nourishment would be, if you see a kid and they out of line, don't go up to them hollering. Go up and talk to them and ask them why they doing what they doing. Get them to talk about what they doing, because I think the problem is a lot of these kids nowadays, they got I call it the Michael Jackson mentality, which, all I want to say is that they don't really care about us. They don't believe that we care about them. And when actuality, we do, because that's who's going to take care of us. So I think that's one thing that we need to do. We need to do something to let these kids know, hey, I've been there. I've done that. Everything that you think that you can do or gonna do, I done already done probably 2-3 times already. So let me give you some guidance. I ain't trying to tell you how to live your life. I'm just trying to give you examples of how not to live your life. So I think that we need to, we need to get some more mentorship programs going. And if you see a kid that's out of line, just don't look at them and say, well, that ain't my kid. If you have the opportunity to, I ain't saying go stick your nose in people's business, because like Max said, some people don't want nobody telling them how to raise their kids or telling their kids nothing. But at the same time, try to show a kid that you care about them, even if they ain't yours. And I do believe that this world will be a better place. So that's all I have to say. Thank y'all for tuning in with us. And like I said, like Spicy said, we will be back next Friday, so we hope to see y'all there. Same time, same channel. See y'all. Brother Mac, you know what to do.
Start